Stage 8 of the Giro D'Italia had breakaway written all over it to Castel Raimondo, the first time the Giro has ever been there. And as a result, we had an exceptionally fast start. Average speeds for the first hour, well, about 49 k's an hour. Second hour, 46 kilometers an hour, despite a nagging headwind and a ridiculous amount of elevation. But eventually, we had a very solid group that went up the road. We had Lorenzo Fortunato, the King of the Mountains. We also had Andrea Vendrame, a former stage winner in the Giro on 2 occasions, but an exceptionally fast start to proceedings because everybody knew that it would be a day for the break. So meanwhile, behind, unsurprisingly, it was Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe that weren't exactly doing the chasing. They were just getting the race into this holding pattern. Now, the big question was, did Primož Roglič want to concede, hand over the pink jersey? The answer was, not exactly emphatically, but the answer was yes, because the lead went up to around 5.5 minutes and they just rode a nice, steady tempo, unassisted by anybody else. So at this particular point, it was a perfect scenario for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe and for Primož Roglič. This is where the race was ultimately won. 45.6 k's to go, and Luke Plapp accelerates away from the group that he's broken away with. You can see AlUla there, absolutely on the limit. Meanwhile, though, Luke Plapp is completely in the zone. He wanted to break clear at this point because he felt confident about his TT ability. He said he was absolutely floating, and just look at the gap that he opened up. He also wanted to buy himself a little bit of time, which was good common sense because he isn't a great descender. But once he got over the top, he opened up the gap and didn't even glance round once. So it's just knowing when you're going to roll that in without it being on a freeze. Yeah, it's just before he freezes. That's perfect. Nice one. This then is the moment that stage 8 of the Giro D'Italia was ultimately won. Luke Plapp breaking away halfway up the final climb of the day, or the big categorised climb of the day, 45.5 k's in the bag, didn't even look back, wanted to get into TT mode, wanted to be on the front foot, and that's certainly what he did. High torque, low cadence, opened up that gap, and nobody in the breakaway could do anything about it. He was thinking as well, he needed to buy himself a bit of sliding space on the descent. That's not one of his strengths. But over the climb, he powered away, opened up a 15-second gap, and then got into full TT mode. And this was the moment that Luke Plapp scored the biggest win of his career. Never won a World Tour race ever, and does it at the Giro D'Italia. Absolutely spectacular.